In this video, we will talk about top 10 most extreme weather events in history, so make sure to watch the full video. Throughout history, Earth has witnessed some of the most extreme and devastating weather events, leaving behind destruction, loss of life, and dramatic changes in landscapes. From powerful hurricanes and deadly heat waves to massive blizzards and record-breaking storms, nature's fury has reshaped civilizations and altered history. These extreme weather events serve as reminders of nature's raw power and unpredictability. While some of these disasters were rare occurrences, others have repeated throughout history, causing widespread damage and impacting millions of lives. Understanding these events not only helps us prepare for future disasters but also highlights the urgent need to address climate change. Here are 10 of the most extreme weather events in history that shocked the world. 1. The Great Hurricane of 1780, deadliest Atlantic hurricane. The Great Hurricane of 1780 is considered the deadliest Atlantic hurricane on record, claiming an estimated 22,000 to 27,500 lives. This Category 5 hurricane struck the Caribbean in October 1780, with winds so powerful that entire towns were wiped out. Ships were thrown ashore, and trees were uprooted, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. The storm devastated Barbados, Martinique, and St. Lucia, with reports of buildings being completely flattened. The hurricane also had historical significance, as it affected naval battles during the American Revolutionary War. 2. The 1931 China floods, deadliest natural disaster ever. The 1931 China floods remain the deadliest weather-related disaster in recorded history. Triggered by heavy monsoon rains and melting snow, the Yangtze River, Yellow River, and Huai River overflowed, submerging vast areas of China. It is estimated that between 1 to 4 million people lost their lives due to flooding, starvation, and disease outbreaks. Entire villages were swallowed, crops were destroyed, and millions were left homeless. The floods not only caused immediate destruction but also led to long-term economic and agricultural devastation, worsening the effects of the Great Depression in China. 3. The Dust Bowl, 1930s, America's worst environmental crisis. During the 1930s, a series of severe dust storms swept across the central United States, turning farmlands into barren wastelands. The Dust Bowl was caused by a combination of severe drought and poor agricultural practices, leading to massive dust storms that buried homes and destroyed crops. Millions of Americans were forced to migrate, especially from Oklahoma and Texas, in search of better living conditions. The environmental disaster highlighted the importance of sustainable farming techniques and led to significant policy changes in soil conservation. 4. The Bhola Cyclone, 1970, deadliest tropical cyclone. The Bhola Cyclone struck East Pakistan, now Bangladesh, and India on November 13, 1970, becoming the deadliest tropical cyclone ever recorded. With wind speeds of 115 miles per hour, 185 kilometers per hour, and a massive storm surge, the cyclone caused widespread destruction, killing an estimated 300,000 to 500,000 people. The government's slow response to the disaster led to political unrest, ultimately contributing to the Bangladesh Liberation War in 1971. The tragedy remains one of the most devastating natural disasters in South Asian history. 5. The 2003 European heatwave, deadliest heatwave in history. The summer of 2003 saw one of the most intense heat waves in European history, resulting in an estimated 70,000 deaths across multiple countries. France was hit the hardest, with over 15,000 deaths recorded due to extreme temperatures exceeding 104 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 degrees Celsius. The heatwave caused droughts, wildfires, and severe agricultural losses. Many of the victims were elderly individuals who succumbed to heat stroke and dehydration. The disaster forced governments to implement new heatwave preparedness plans to prevent similar tragedies in the future. 6. The Super Outbreak, 1974, most intense tornado outbreak. The 1974 Super Outbreak remains one of the most violent tornado outbreaks in history, with 148 tornadoes touching down across 13 U.S. states and Ontario, Canada. The outbreak lasted for 18 hours and caused widespread destruction, killing 315 people and injuring over 5,000. Entire towns were leveled, and some tornadoes reached EF5 intensity, producing wind speeds over 200 miles per hour, 322 kilometers per hour. The event changed the way meteorologists study tornadoes, leading to improvements in warning systems and emergency response strategies. 7. The blizzard of 1888, America's worst snowstorm. In March 1888, a brutal blizzard hit the northeastern United States, bringing record-breaking snowfall and hurricane-force winds. Over 400 people died as snowdrifts buried homes and streets under 50 inches, 127 centimeters, of snow. New York City and other major urban areas were paralyzed, with transportation systems coming to a halt. The storm's devastation led to changes in city infrastructure, including the decision to move power and telegraph lines underground to prevent future weather-related outages. 8. Typhoon Haiyan, 2013, strongest tropical cyclone at landfall. Typhoon Haiyan, also known as Super Typhoon Yolanda, struck the Philippines in November 2013 with wind speeds of 195 miles per hour, 315 kilometers per hour, making it the strongest tropical cyclone to make landfall in recorded history. The storm surge, reaching over 20 feet, 6 meters, wiped out entire coastal communities, killing more than 6,300 people. Millions were displaced, and the economic damage was estimated at $14 billion. The disaster highlighted the vulnerability of island nations to extreme weather and led to international efforts to improve disaster preparedness. 9. The 2010 Pakistan floods, worst flooding in Pakistan's history. In 2010, Pakistan experienced unprecedented monsoon rains that caused devastating floods, affecting nearly one-fifth of the country. Over 2,000 people lost their lives, and more than 20 million were displaced as floodwaters destroyed homes, infrastructure, and farmlands. The economic losses were estimated at $43 billion, making it one of the costliest disasters in Pakistan's history. The floods also triggered food shortages and outbreaks of waterborne diseases, requiring massive international aid efforts for recovery. 10. The 1815 Mount Tambora eruption, the year without a summer. Although not a typical weather event, the eruption of Mount Tambora in 1815 had a dramatic impact on global weather patterns. The eruption released massive amounts of ash and sulfur into the atmosphere, blocking sunlight and causing a sudden drop in global temperatures. 1816 became known as the year without a summer, with widespread crop failures, famine, and unseasonal snowfall recorded across North America and Europe. The disaster led to severe food shortages and highlighted the impact of volcanic activity on climate change. These extreme weather events serve as powerful reminders of nature's destructive force and the importance of disaster preparedness. While some disasters were sudden and unavoidable, others were worsened by human activities such as deforestation and climate change. As weather patterns become more unpredictable, it is crucial to invest in better forecasting systems and emergency response plans. Studying these historical events helps us learn from the past and develop strategies to minimize future losses. Extreme weather will always be a part of Earth's history, but with scientific advancements and global cooperation, we can work towards building a safer and more resilient world. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel before you go. Thank you for watching.